What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new here, please make sure you go ahead, slap that like button because it helps support the channel. Also, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell because, as you know, I don't have a post schedule. I only post when I feel cute. So if you want to be here when I post a video, you gotta hit that bell. Today is very exciting for me. We are reviewing and discussing this film, Blonde. Now, I think I reacted to the trailer, so somewhere on my channel is my trailer reaction, and you can probably see my excitement for Mairlyn. Anything Mairlyn, I am over the moon about. I've been following every bioepic, every movie, and I remember specifically the Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe Lifetime 3-day event movie was the great. I ended up like buying it on iTunes, and I always like push it for people to watch in terms of trying to understand who Mairlyn is as a whole person rather than these huge dramatic traumatic events that people know and blow up to such big proportions. I feel like The Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe really focuses in on every little aspect and shows how she got to each and every part of her life. This movie, despite it being so visually stunning and so beautiful, and the lead actress playing Marilyn Monroe being so iconically amazing, it is unfortunately missing pieces. It's missing pieces of relationships. It's missing pieces of her life that made her the way that she is. And I feel like in this whole almost 3 hours, this director almost just chooses to zoom in on the craziest part of her mental health, the craziest part of traumatic events, the craziest part of her castings. I just feel like there was so much more to her story and so much more to who she was. And because of the full picture of who she is, that's why I look up to her so much and I love her so much. And I'm so inspired by her is because of who she is as a complete person. All of her beauty, her brains, her ideas, the way she carries herself both on screen and off. But then movies like this come out, and it makes sense as to why I spend so much of my life having to defend why I love Marilyn Monroe so much, because they depict her in such a light that's so traumatic and so crazy and so over the top that it's hard for me to be made sense of when I tell someone, oh, as an actor, I really look up to Marilyn Monroe. I think she's an amazing actress. Like, a lot of times people don't realize she would go to those movies and film for 7, 8 hours a day, and then she would come home and be with an acting coach for another 5 hours, and then the acting coach would leave and she would run her lines by herself for another 3 hours. That's something I can, like, relate to from a perspective of wanting to be a great artist, and especially in terms of your sexuality and your beauty being pushed forward and your skills and your talent being pushed back. That can naturally just happen to anybody. So you almost believe that someone who is more beautiful has an easier time on screen or as an artist. But sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes that person has to choose to show their talent in such a brighter light or have to work twice as hard because so many people are only seeing what's on the exterior. And that's something I've had to deal with personally, and that's why I relate to Marilyn. But a lot of those moments, a lot of those themes were not in this movie. And I don't want to, like, a lot of people don't like the movie because it was, so extra or so over the top. And I love that. I think that that is what made the movie as amazing as it is. The scenes are so sharp. The visuals are amazing. They're so beautiful. All I wanted was those interactions in between, and also not so much jumping around. And I know that was a thing with people too, and I'm with them for that. Timeline jumping around really, to me, defeats the purpose of a bioepic. I want to hear the story from beginning to end. I want to know every character. I want to know so much. I want to know why these traumatic events happen and what led to what. The director and the way this film goes is he almost makes it more like a puzzle, more like a guessing game. He bounces around through different timelines, through different characters, through different emotions, and it makes you feel crazy. It makes you feel crazy with Marilyn, and that's not how it should be, because I feel like her emotions and the way she broke down and the way things happen all stem from something. They all are because of something, and the director kind of pulled out those somethings and then just showed the outcome of the trauma. So that kind of upset me a little bit. And I think I might be going through this alone in a way because I don't know how many people saw The Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe, the 3-part special on Lifetime, but because I saw that and because I know so much of who she was on and off the screen, and as well as other movies and documentaries, I just know that those pieces, like I said, are what made me love her. So for them to take those pieces out, it upsets me that a whole new generation is not going to watch this film and think that this is all of Marilyn. Especially, it's a 2 and almost 3 hour movie. So someone who doesn't know who Marilyn Monroe is will watch this thinking it's like a bioepic and watch it thinking like, okay, this is all who she was, and then that would be it. That's who they'll think she is, and that's who they'll go on life and tell their kids who she is, and it'll go on and on. Where like that upsets me because I know there's more to her, and there is more to be shown in this movie. And because his visuals were so strong and the actress was so perfect, it makes me feel like it was like a missed opportunity in a way to really, really get those scenes in there and tell us who she was. The male casting in this, as well as, like I said, Marilyn was perfect, 100% amazing. Nothing better than that. She better get an award. But the male casting in this was also perfect with Bobby and Adrian. They were amazing. And I remember like watching The Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe and seeing, the Arthur Miller and the Joe DiMaggio in that and thinking like, oh my gosh, like in Hollywood times and non-Lifetime movie productions, this would be Adrian Brody and Bobby Cannavale. Like they were just perfect for the casting. It just made it that more realistic. But again, made me that more upset that we were not getting more behind the scenes, more information about their relationships. Lots of things that I feel like were missed out. For instance, like I never really understood when she found the letter in Arthur Miller's place in this movie. It said that I will not write about you, and it was actually him writing about her. But in The Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe, she finds a letter that he's writing about Marilyn Monroe, and it says like, I can't believe I'm with her, she's really dumb, she really doesn't know anything. And I feel like that's a big difference, like the difference between finding a letter and thinking he's writing a play about her to finding a letter and it actually saying the description of what he thinks of her in reality when she actually thinks she's in love with him. That is a huge difference. So I wish they would have showed more of that. I wish they would have showed more of why she felt the way she felt about these men and what she felt about after. I feel like they really zoomed in on those tears, on those facial expressions, on the physical acting of traumatic events rather than what she actually did, what she actually felt, like what was going on in her mind at the time. So much to be still unwrapped, so much to still do out, but no matter what, I was definitely still so excited to watch it. I'll probably watch it again just because those visuals of Marilyn and someone really tapping into the character like that is really such a beautiful experience. And I think for any actress, it's such a powerful role because you're really learning the ins and outs of this actress and at the same time acting yourself. And I know for a fact that this will definitely take this actress to another level and her career to another level, without a doubt, because there's so many layers to Marilyn. And even though we didn't get to see all of them on screen depicted the way I want, I do still feel like all of them were there for the actress. Like, even though we didn't get everything that we wanted visually, she was still giving everything. I just blame the writing and the directing for them not capturing and blowing up the moments that deserve to be blow up. They only choose to go in on some of the darkest things, and I did see one article that said that that was true. Like, the director wanted that. He wanted to magnify the traumatic experiences of her suicide and of her mental health. That's what he wanted the film to be. So if that's what he wanted, I feel like that's what he achieved. But I just feel like that's not her whole story. There were funny moments, there were sad moments, there were angry moments, there were more emotions than just straight drama, just straight nightmare. And I think to leave those out just sends the wrong message to the next generation of people who are trying to get to know who Marilyn Monroe is, hence making me have to always defend myself 10 times more. And it reminds me of like the Britney Spears situation. I'm a huge Britney Spears fan, and I know so much about her career, so much about her upbringing, so many things that she did during her strongest years that inspired me to my core, that are the reason why I do so many things I do today. But because of all the headlines in the past couple years and what her story is now, I sound crazy when I say that she's one of my heroes, when I say that her work ethic is one of the best, or I say anything about who she is. I sound ridiculous because people only see what they see now. They don't see what has the whole story. So it's almost up to these people who create bioepics to put the whole story together and give it in a complete package. So when they don't, it upsets me a little bit. But it does not mean it was not an amazing film. It was not visually stunning. It was not well done, well acted, well produced. It was all of those things. I just had really high expectations for it, and I wanted there to be more details to the story versus more details on the outcomes of the traumatic events of the story. And I understand that from like an entertainment perspective, like there's a reason why he zoomed in on some of these traumatic events. Like they raise questions, they make for good TV, but it's a bioepic in a way, and people are going to it to learn. So, like I said, that's really an opportunity to map things out detail by detail. And for this, I feel like it was an opportunity missed. But visually stunning, so beautiful. I would definitely watch it again. Just to try to understand it more and just to get some of those more images in my mind, like the images of her with the wind blowing and stuff like that, and Diamonds of a Girl's Best Friend, like those are all so, like they just live rent free in my mind. So to see someone reinvent them and it be so beautiful and so HD and so in today's world, it really is a beautiful experience. So this is also another movie that would have been amazing in theaters, but we didn't get that experience, but that's okay because we watched it in bed, so that was fun too. But if you watched this, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of it. Were you traumatized? Was it too much? Was it just enough? Did you want more? Are you a fan of Mairlyn? Are you a fan of the movie? Let me know what you think, because I'll be thinking about this for hours, and I'm probably going to do a couple other videos on it. So if there's anything, any relationships or anything you want me to zoom in on, let me know in the comments, and I love you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.